Welcome everyone to day number 5 of the Spellbinders Advent Calendar. We're on our countdown. We're almost at a week. Now, into day number 5, and we have got these curly whirly swirly die set. Now, there are 2 dies in here, and they look very similar, but one is different to the other. One's slightly more curly than the other side. So I have an A2 card base. I've cut myself a piece of matte gold foil cardstock to measure the entire front of the A2 card. And I'm going to use this set of dies from My Favourite Things to cut myself a little scalloped bordered rectangle. Now that's where my main image is going to sit. Now to make my little decorations, I'm using this Simon Hurley die set, and it is the vintage ornaments. And here you go, you can see I've cut myself 3 ornaments, and I've stuck to using metals, the colours of metals, so bronze, gold, silver, copper. And then I've got my little curly whirlies, and I'm using those as the strings on the decorations. I've cut them out of a light holographic cardstock. Now for some of these ornaments, I want one that's going to lay flat against my background, and that's this round one here. And I'm just measuring where I'm going to put my little bit of string, and you can see I've given it a snip before I glued it down just so it was a little bit easier to handle. And I'm trying to line that up so it fits just nicely under the hook of the bauble. Then I need to bring in my other 2 ornaments just to work out where I think I will position them, so I can then think about gluing down each bauble separately. Now the second bauble I'm putting down, that is on foam tape that's about 1 millimeter thick. And the third bauble, I've put that onto foam tape that is about 3 millimeters thick. So we've got that graduation in depth away from the background. So here I've got my curly whirly strings again, and I'm just doing a rough estimate of where I need to give that a trim so I can then make it easier to handle when I go to place it onto my card. So I'm using my Bailey Arts glue there, and I'm not sure if you can tell from the video, but that curly whirly string, I have cut that 3 or 4 times to thicken it up so that it will sit nice and flush against the loop of the ornament. Because it's raised up on foam tape, it needed to be thicker so that it was actually the right dimension with the bauble. This third bauble, I'm going to realise that yes, this is the right thickness to sit across the top of that second bauble, but when I go to place it up above where the baubles are and it's just string, I realise that I need to do something to raise it up. So what I actually do is get some of the cardstock that's left over, snip little pieces off, and I tuck that underneath the top of the string that doesn't overlap any of the ornaments. From the die set, I've also cut myself some bows, and I've got a copper, a gold and a silver, and I'm going to add those to the top of my ornament loops just so that I can make sure where they connect to each other, the bow's going to make sure that's hidden. Okay, so I've got them all connected and attached. I've now got my Christmas wishes die, and I believe this is a Creative Expressions die, and I've cut that twice so it's laid up just so it's got a little bit of dimension, but I wanted it to fit underneath that lowest bauble there. Just going to come along now that my glue has dried, and I can snip off those ends of my strings for my ornaments. That makes my card all finished. I hope you like my version of how to use those dies today. I thought they very much reminded me of the curly ribbons that you get on presents. So I'd like to thank you for joining me again today, and I hope to see you again for day number 6. Until then, bye bye for now.